Willow. Yeah, serves you right. Bull Terrier torpedo. Sorry, good morning. It's Tuesday, Talk Tuesday. We are here at the Straight Road. We are a little more than halfway through walk. Hi, city girl. It's beautiful outside today. I feel like today is the reward for dealing with all the garbage heat that we've been dealing with until now. Actually able to walk the full length without being worried that they get too hot, which is nice. And there's been enough rain that there's water for them to go in here, which is good. Oh, trying not to trip on Bailey's long line here. All right, for those who like a head count, we've got 12 today. We've got Tucker leading off, Archie and Stella, Rowan, Bailey, Cosmo, Roxy. Hey! No! Rory! Good girl, May. That would have been a disaster. Arosa, Newton, Willow. I don't know if I said Willow. Cosmo. Thank you. Good girl, Miss Rory. Yeah, that was really good. Hold on. She's like, I know the drill here, lady. Good. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. And I realized I made an error because I had a topic. I even had notes. But it's on the notes app on my phone. And I forgot to look at it before I started filming. Well, it's just that kind of day, I guess. I think my brain is still recovering. Stella, that's a no from me. Thank you. Nope. Rory's like, nothing. I don't know. What are you? They see the paths down, like usually animal paths or whatever, to where water is. But sometimes, like, a deer's idea of water is not something I want to send them to. So I try to only let them go in places where I know the water is reasonable. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, like for a farm. But there's like different levels. And Miss Rory is banned from going at all because she finds mud no matter where I let her in. So if it's not hot out, like it's not hot right now. May! You can go in front. Since it's not hot out, she doesn't need to go in the water. Like, and especially they're running through all the tall grass and stuff, which is super wet. Which is good because it keeps them cool. Still trying not to die on the long line. Okay, so I'm gonna do the best I can. Willow, thank you. To remember my topic, I do remember the overarching topic, which was basically don't turn your dog into an adrenaline junkie. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so some people have great dogs. Naturally, they do all the right things. They're totally happy with them. It's super great. Good for you. Congratulations. This is not for you. This is for other people. So maybe it's your first dog. Maybe you got a dog that you didn't really understand the energy levels or anything like that. And you're struggling because you find, like, no matter how much you walk your dog, they're still super active. Like 10-minute nap, right back up again. I get this comment a lot, like on my pack walk dogs, right? A lot of their owners are like, I don't understand. You can take your dog, or you can take my dog out for an hour and come back and they're just dead the rest of the day, where I take my dog for an hour walk and that, like, they just want to keep going. Good girl, Miss Rory. They just keep bothering me. They don't let me work. They bark. They want attention all the time. And there's like a bunch of things you can try. My very first step with this, of course, is crate training. And we use crate training to like help teach a dog calm and give them a safe, calm space. Sort of like using a crib for a baby, right? Or a room for a child, or even our room, right? Like our room is essentially a kennel for us, right? It's got our bed in there. It's got like whatever makes us feel comfortable and happy. So we want to offer that to our dogs. So start with kennel training. Miss Rory, we're going this way. Good girl. That was very nice, Roar. There you are. Okay, let's continue. Oh, getting murdered by a baby line. Okay, so, like, what do I do that's different on my walks as compared to them? And they're like, we even go to the dog parks, thinking it's social. Stella, no. Cosmo, no. Stella, no. And there are a couple of things that are like unique to pack walk that's hard to duplicate. And the first one is the car. Like the car itself, while I require everybody, good girl, Stella, Willow, I require everybody to be calm. Generally speaking, there's no sleeping in the car until after walk because they're like watching out the window. They have to make space for everybody. Like all of these 12 dogs go in the back of my car. And barring Rowan, who's in a kennel, and that's just because he is a Pestermite, and he's not fixed yet, so I keep him separate from everybody. And even Rory was in a kennel until recently because we were dealing with motion sickness, which she seems to have gotten past. Yay! Much exciting. The cleaning, much better now. And like I will use tiebacks and stuff if necessary, depending. But generally speaking, this group. Stella, do we need to bring the haystack with us? Okay, good. Okay, Newton, in front. Get out of here. You guys, go. Thank you. There we go. More dogs. Didn't realize they were entouraging me. Yeah, each hay bottle. Good. No. Good girl. Oh, good girl, Rory. There you go, ma'am. Very good girl. Okay. Yeah, you see, so they went in the water and they came out and they were clean. So that means the water is nice and high. We got a decent enough amount of rain. Which is good. That's what I always like, because even in weather like this, like I might not feel the heat, but each dog is different. Anyways, okay. So car, number one, challenging. Number two, the walk itself. Like you guys see a snapshot of the walk, and it's not necessarily super accurate to the way we walk the rest of the time. Like you see a little bit with me with Rory, because I'm more focused on her and she gets more training than the other guys. But we also do recall drills. We do duration stuff. I add in a couple times during the walk to reinforce all the commands that I want them to be 100% on whatever the distraction, right? So we practice those when there are minimal distractions so that we have lots of success at them. And then when there is a distraction, we're like 1,000% more likely to hear the command, right? Okay, so how can you sort of duplicate that on your own walk? And I would have you try out a couple changes. First one is like you have to be really cognizant about how much exercise your dog actually needs. Because there are a lot of dogs out there in training that a big part of their problem is too much stimulation not enough sleep. So think about how cranky you get when you don't have enough sleep. I know Evan can tell you, any of my friends can tell you, like if I don't get enough sleep, I'm not pleasant to be around. I know this. So I work very hard to try to get enough sleep. And in the case of these guys, I know that, let's say Kronk and Rowan. Kronk, because he's injured, needs less, hold on. This is an alert spot. Rory, come on. Good girl. Hey, go on. I always know when she's thinking about doing a dive because she'll like try to slowly drift to the back of the pack behind me and then she'll stop and just stare at me. And it's like, that's the time I want to encourage her to keep going. Anyways, okay, focus. So, Rowan, probably closer to 2 hours because he's younger. Kronk, an hour, but then I also have to shape that really well to make sure he doesn't decline instead of get better. Like, we're getting better slowly but surely, and we want to keep up that progress, right? So, the average dog, and I'm not talking about like a super lazy dog, like a Mastiff or like a retired Greyhound. Really, Ro? Really? And I'm not talking about a super jacked up Aussie, right? Who would need more. But the average dog, about an hour to 2 hours of exercise. Now, that can look like different things, and it should look like different things. If you are constantly doing the same walk with the same smells in the same building and whatever, your dog is not going to get the mental stimulation they need. Because it's not only about the physical, it's about the mental. May, that is a hard no. She's like, nothing. I wasn't about to show the puppy where a new mud hole was. So like figure out, let's say we go on a 1 hour walk, go on your walk, go home, put your dog in a crate for a minimum of 2 hours, right? We want them to have enough time to be like, what the heck is happening? This is not normal, right? Especially if it's a change. If it's a puppy, it's different, but if it's a change, enough time to sort of come to the realization and then go take a nap. We want them to learn that cycle of like being calm, learning how to be calm. Because if you just, like, let's say you take your dog for a 5K run every day, that's great. But if there's ever a time that you can't do that, you need to have a backup plan because you've taught them that endurance, right? And you're just increasing their endurance every time you do that, as opposed to like teaching them in the house. It's calm time. And it doesn't have to be in the kennel forever. Like, obviously, for Rowan and Kronk, I bring them home after walk. We go inside, they hit their beds, they get treats on their beds, and they nap on their beds until about dinner time, right? And that's longer than 2 hours. And then they have dinner. We do an activity after dinner, like either, oh God, sorry, I almost threw you, there was a fly. We do like either an activity, some fun training, go outside and kick the ball for Kronk, a little walk, like nothing like this. And then that's it. Even for a high energy, crackhead, as I call him, my puppy, right? He's not destructive in the house. He's a pretty good listener considering his breed. Overall, he's a nice, solid dog. And that's because of the cycle that we've taught him, right? Roxy, today. Thank you, ma'am. I think Roxy forgets herself. Like, she goes in the long grass and she just, like, trances. It's her favorite place. Oh, my Lord, fly. Okay. On that note, you're welcome. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to continue with this next week after I've looked at my notes, because I want to talk about the other half. I know there's another half of stuff. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about this video or that you want me to address next video or anything at all, you know what to do. If you have a second to like, comment, and subscribe. It's super, super appreciated. Thank you so much. Oh, and that's it for me. I hope you guys are having a great day. Come on, Miss Roar. And I'll talk to you soon. Jesus.